Can you hear me now? Yay. Yay. So, welcome. Financial Freedom Fridays. It's April 28th, and we're making a lot of progress, are we not? It's 4 months down. 4 months down. Greetings from Singapore. No way. No way. Hello, Singapore. Tu Chon. Ooh. Okay. We should have sound now. Come on, South Carolina. Can you hear me? Let me know. Yes. Yay. Okay. Good. Good, good, good. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to walk through this. And hello, Ursuline. How you doing? Good afternoon. I been doing a lot of thinking here today, and uh, well, just amazing. We have at our hands the opportunities of a lifetime right now, and in today's environment with technology and the things we have in our hands, we have a chance to create lifestyles for ourselves that are just amazing. So, but what I will say though is, unless you and I are personally developing and being the person that we need to be, our income and the wealth that we create and the lifestyle we create, it can't raise above our personal development. John Maxwell wrote a book called 21 Laws of Leadership, the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And his 40 or 50 years of leading people, these are things he's saying that are laws, that they work all the time in every place for every person. And if you apply these laws, you'll be a great leader. If you don't, you won't. One is called the law of the lid. The law of the lid, meaning there's a lid on your income. There's a lid on your wealth development. There's a lid on your life. There's a lid on your life experience. And the way that lid gets lifted is by your character, your attitude, and your belief systems. And right now, I know we haven't focused on a lot of like specifics on wealth creation yet, because if you don't have the right mindset and the right thought process, it doesn't matter how much money you have, you won't have it long, because with the right mindset, with the wrong mindset, you're going to lose it. I'm in the financial business, and I've had 5 lottery winners as clients or potential clients, because you're really only a client if you listen. Okay, you're a client if you listen. If I give you advice and you don't listen, you're just somebody I gave advice to that doesn't listen. I can't really call you a client. I've had 5 lottery winners. All of them mishandled 100% of their lottery winnings. Why is that? Because the muscle it takes to win the lottery is not the same muscle it takes to manage and invest and then grow money. They're different muscles. So my encouragement first is you develop the muscles to manage yourself right between here, and then that'll take care of the money. Because you have to do the right things to make the money, and then you have to do the right things to manage and grow and pass the money on. Does that make sense? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start clicking through these slides, and we're going to make pretty short work of them. We're going to go here, here. The first thing is what you see is from where you sit. Perspective makes all the difference. We talked about this, and I really want to encourage you to be careful to what you allow in your ears and in your eyes. I just got off a meeting, and we were talking about a certain part of our city in Chicago. It's like a third world country in this neighborhood. And why is that? Because of the because of a lot of things. It's not any one simple thing. But at the end of the day, the mindset of the people um, has to be improved. And I'm working with some people who live in that area. And the first thing we're working on is personal development. What they see is from where you sit, their perspective. So we're working on their worldview and how they see things. Okay. That's the first thing all of us have to work on is our worldview. And so everyone's got one. It's a way of looking at things, and it's where you sit from to view your life. Like if you watch certain newscasts, you know if they're on a certain channel, they're going to come from a certain perspective because that's where they sit. You may agree with them, you may not agree with them, but you know where they're coming from because that's where they sit. You have to make sure in your life where you're sitting is a place of truth. Not just that things are true, but they're ultimate truth. But there's no such thing as truth. Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. You know, I was talking to somebody about a particular issue, and they were staunchly against the perspective I had, staunchly against it. And I was just wrong. And there's no way I could have that. And there's no way they could believe what I believe because I believe against that. And then at the same time, I asked them a question. I said, well, I asked you if there was ultimate truth. You said no. But you're telling me I can't believe what I'm believing. How do those two things go together? So you must believe you know ultimate truth then. Well, no. Well, then how can I not have my perspective? So here's something we're all going to have to deal with. There's going to come a point in your life where your life's going to terminate. Mortality rate in America is 100%. Mortality rate everywhere around the world is 100%. And when you make that transition, I believe you're going to have a conversation with someone who created this world, and they're going to let you know what ultimate truth is. In the meantime, all of us have to come to a determination of what we believe the truth is. Okay? And I believe that seeing your life from God's perspective is the best and only vantage point to have. So that's where I come from. So now you can click off the channel or not, but that's where I come from. Okay? And before you knock it, I challenge you to understand where the Bible comes from, why it's the truth, and a couple things. A couple things I'm going to mention first right away because I get this a lot in talking to people. Well, the Bible is a certain man's religion, typically white man's religion. But I want you to do this for a second. Go in the Bible, read Genesis, and there are 4 rivers that are mentioned. 4 rivers that are mentioned that are historically in existence today. I want you to look at where those rivers are. They're in Africa. The Bible's origins are in Africa. Yeah. The Bible's origins are in Africa. Another thing I want you to think about is this. There's something called the Reformation that happened. A guy named Martin Luther really attacked the Catholic Church and said, hey, this salvation thing, it's not about giving penance or paying. It's about having faith. And it's by grace through faith. There's nothing man can do to save himself. Do you know who taught Martin Luther that? 3 West African theologians, Augustine, Cyril, and I forget the third one's name. They're all from West Africa. So the gospel that came out of Europe was taught to them by 3 black men in Africa. I'm just saying. Be, do, have. The first thing we have to do is be a certain person. Who would you have to be the kind of person that has the lifestyle that you want? I'm not just talking about money, but just the overall lifestyle. You operate in certain circles. You have certain impact on our society. You're able to be a benefit to certain groups of people. You're able to move in certain lanes. Who would you have to be to do that? So your identity is your foundation. It's your being. It's your being. It's who you're being. That's based on what you know. Question for you. Are you a reader? Are you a listener to books? Are you a reader of books? Do you listen and talk to people? Are you growing in your perspectives on life? Who you are is important. Who you think you are is important. What do you think other people think about you? And here's my suggestion. What other people think about you is their private business. Don't try to understand their private business, okay? What they think about you is really not important. What's important is what God thinks about you and what you think about you and how you're adhering to those standards. What's up, Houston? Houston got a good quarterback from Ohio State, C.J. Stroud. I don't know. DeMarco Ryans, come on, brother. And then what you believe about yourself. Choose to believe the truth about what God thinks about you. Here's something I would challenge you to do. Whether you believe the Bible or not, I'd encourage you to do this and see how your thinking changes. The New Testament, it's a New Testament. It's like a last will and testament. A will is what's in your head. That's what you want to see happen. Testament is written down. Okay? So God has written down what he wants to see happen for his people in this New Testament. Look at all the phrases in the New Testament that say in Christ. And when you're in Christ, all these things are true about you. That's your real identity. Your first decision to create wealth for yourself is to base your success and worth on your true identity and calling. And it's who you are internally in Christ that makes the difference. And to have identity-based goals on your true identity, not based on your past. If you base your future on your past, there'll be no change. So how do you have a different experience? Change your thinking. Change your thinking, change the people you hang around with, and change your expectation. Our expectation has to be for good and for success, not for evil and failure. Do you believe the best outcome for yourself? I encourage you to do that. Why? Because that's God's plan for your life, okay? Next is do. Once you're a certain person, then you're going to do certain things. Let me ask you a question. How in the world do you pay an individual $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $1,000,000 to play a game on Sunday called football? Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, and now Lamar Jackson. My guy from the Philadelphia Eagles, just forgot his name. It'll come back to me. Are getting paid $100, $150, $200 million to play a game. Now, Jalen Hurts, doggone Skippy. Why are they paying these men this kind of money? Here's why. It's because of who they are. It's their character. All of them are seen as leaders. All of them are seen as the people that own the teams, the people that come to the games and watch the games, they would want somebody in their family who is a friend of theirs to be like those people. Now, Deshaun Watson, we might have some issues because of some things he's done with. But generally speaking, the people they're paying their money to, they've got great character, great work ethic, great discipline. They're great leaders. And because of the way they think, they get certain production on the field. And that's why they're getting paid the money. Because pro football is not just a football game, it's entertainment. It's a business, it's an investment. A lot of things go into why these teams are worth billions of dollars. And that quarterback is the face of that franchise. Guess who's the face of your franchise? You are. You are. Has your game been leveled up? Were you doing the things you need to do to create the kind of lifestyle you want for you and your family? So your doing is about your habits. It's about your habits. How you manage your day, how you manage your life, how you manage your productivity. It's about being the right person, thinking the right ideas, taking the right actions. Are you doing the things that are necessary? Are you learning and changing every day? When you get some new information that says, I'm not really doing that. I see how that's been successful for many other people. I need to change that about me. Boom. And do you change? Taking action is a demonstration of your faith, that in your expectation that things are going to be better. If you don't think certain things are going to happen in your future, you won't do things in your present to make that future happen. The best indicator of your future are the things you're doing right now in the present that are going to bring those things on. Does that make sense? So first, being a certain person, getting in alignment. It says, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. I suggest that that's your standard, and then that you act out on that standard. And then as you do, the results are going to be, you're going to be very competent and you're going to be successful. Why? Because you're going to learn how to connect the dots. You're going to be wise. You're going to learn how to execute successful processes. Okay? Because of repetition of certain skills. We just got through talking about quarterbacks. One of the things the quarterbacks are asked to do when they come up to the line, there's a whole team and a whole organization of people that is trying to disguise their intentions and their actions so that when the quarterback snaps the ball, the defense is in position and the quarterback and his team is out of position to have a successful play. Guess what? That's happening in your life too. When you intend to change your life, I'm going to go to this webinar, I'm going to change my life, I'm going to get better financially. Guess what? It's a law of the universe. When you intend to do something different, you want to change, there's going to be an equal and the opposite push against you. Some people look at, well, I started to do this and things start falling apart. That's a sign I shouldn't do it. Exactly 100% wrong. That's a sign you're headed in the right direction. You're going to get opposition. Why? To make you stronger. Because the person you are is not the person who can handle that big goal you have for yourself. You got to get stronger. So as soon as you decide to move forward, you're going to have pressure against you. The goal is, are you going to continue to persist and be diligent to make it happen? That's be, do, have. Now, the 7 kinds of wealth, and don't just measure your success by how much money you have. There's a process for getting money that's pretty straightforward. It is. Here's the process. You have to create something of value for other people. Then you create a strategy that says, I'll exchange what I've created to solve your problem for some of the money you have in your pocket. The third thing you do is you scale that situation so that you've got an infrastructure around you that can deliver that value without you. It's called a team. So the key to getting wealthy financially is, what of value have you created? It's a product or a service. There are benefits and drawbacks to both. A product or a service that you can offer to people that's of value that they're willing to pay you for. And then you can build a structure around it where you don't have to be there every day to collect the money. That's the simple formula. That's the simple formula. Hey, Jessica, what's up? So that's the simple formula. Back to this being. Remember we talked about be, do, have? So these 7 things are about personal development. Where you at spiritually? What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? Where you at spiritually? Where you at emotionally? How do you handle stress? Man, we're in an environment now with social media. Everybody looks good. Everybody's rich. Everybody's happy. Everybody's in shape. Everybody's fabulous. And everybody lying. How do you keep your soul together in this world that we're in? Where you're not comparing yourself to other people, envious of other people, mad at some people, getting trolled by some people, canceled by other people. It's got to come from the inside out, spiritual. And then we manage our emotions, our mind, our thinking, our emotions, our feeling, and then our will, our choosing. That's our soul, has to be led prayerfully by your spirit. So you're making right choices. Then physical. Man, Americans were killing ourselves with knives and forks. We had pizza today at the office. And had to be very good not to eat too much. Just get a few, boom, you're good. Is that what we do usually? Just get a couple, a few? No, not even. Got to take care of our bodies. Do you know your numbers? Cholesterol, sugar level, heart rate, blood pressure. Do you know your numbers? Your key numbers? Physically, you got to be in shape because what happens is as we get older, people spend the last 5, 10 years of their life and they spend all the money they accumulated to try to get their health back. Take care of yourself. Especially you brothers that don't like to go to the hospital or the doctor to get checkups. You got to do it. That's the responsible thing to do for your family that loves you. Next is social. How are your relationships? How are your relationships? How are your relationships? I'm going to a couple of reunions this year with teams, football teams I play with. I haven't talked to these guys for a long time. And I'm looking at the list and saying, why? Why did that happen like that? So we're going to reconnect. And I've got less time to be here than I've been here. But my goal is to really lift up the value of relationships in my life. Because your network will also determine your net worth. It should be that the people you're in life with as you're starting out, everybody started kind of, Drake said you started at the bottom. Now you're here. You started at the bottom, and then all of you guys are working your way up. And if you're networking together, you can help one another to rise. Social, your influence. How's your influence? Are there certain things you don't like in your city, town, whatever? What are you influential enough to move the needle to change those things? How do you develop and wield influence for good? It's a good thing to figure out, yes? How do you leverage politics? How do you leverage economic value? How do you leverage relationships to create influence? Because all of us want to live in the best community possible. How are you creating wealth in your community? Okay? And then generational wealth. To leave, it says a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. That inheritance includes all 7 of those wealth things, all 7 of the areas of wealth. But do you have the financial, social, and legal structures in place to pass a well-balanced inheritance to your kids? Do you have that in place? Have you defined it? What does it look like? I challenge you on that. Now, and we'll probably pick this up when we get together again. We'll start here. There are 10 laws of living that when we combine be do have together, we understand the 7 areas of wealth, and we have a well-balanced perspective on what it means to be wealthy or prosperous. And then we apply these principles, you're a person that's going to win. Now, here's the thing. The universe obeys certain rules, laws to which all things must adhere. The reason why we have electricity, the reason we can fly planes, the reason you can drive a car 100 miles an hour, you don't see how any of the insides of it work. You smash on brakes and you expect that car to do what? Stop. You turn the wheel, you expect that car to what? Steer. Why? Because it's generated based on certain laws. I'm in a building 4 stories up in the air right now, and I don't expect to fall down. Why? Because this building has overcome gravity by some of the things it's done. But there are laws in place that if you read Jeremiah 33:25, I don't know if you can see that on there, but natural laws exist. And God will tell you there's laws that he's ordained in heaven and earth. All of our business, all of our life is based on these laws. Here's the thing. If you understand these laws and how they impact you financially, you're guaranteed to win. Now, I'm not saying everybody's going to be a billionaire, but here's what I am saying. God has made you to be creative. You can fulfill the role that he has for you on this earth. And in that role, I believe, based on what the scriptures say, 1, you're going to have enough money to meet your needs. 2, you can be out of debt. 3, you can have enough money to support God's causes. 4, you can have enough money to be generous to other people. And 5, you can leave an inheritance to your children's children. If you could do those 5 things, would you be wealthy? You tell me, would you be wealthy? If you had all the money you need to meet your needs, you weren't in debt, you were able to give to causes that are near and dear to you, you were able to support people that need your help, and then you were able to leave an inheritance to your children's children, would you be successful? Forget the number of dollars, okay? But would you be successful? You tell me. So what are these 10 principles? 1, the law of reciprocity. Give and you will receive. When I sit down with people and start talking to them about their finances, and I say the first thing we need to focus on is you giving. So wait a minute, bro. I'm trying to make some money. I'm trying to keep some money. And you saying the first thing I need to do is give? Have you lost your mind? I don't have enough right now. See, and that's the first mistake. B, where are you looking at? Where you standing? Where you sitting to have that thought? I don't have enough today. And you're sitting at the right hand of God. He's your father. And you don't have enough. What are you saying? God hasn't provided? Or what are you saying? First thing is to learn how to give. Because what that says to you is you understand that the world you live in is a world of abundance and not scarcity. See, we're on our 30 minutes already. We're going to start here when we get together next time. We'll go through these 10 principles. Then we're going to talk about just the specific strategies of what to do with your money to start managing it correctly and then moving it forward. So, hey, Dr. Sylvia, I'm with you. 500,000%. So you guys have a great day, and we'll see you guys next Friday, and it'll be the first week of May next week. All right? You guys take care. God bless you. We out. Share, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Okay? Tell people about it. Come on now. Let's grow the community.